Hey, what's going on guys? John here, and today I wanted to do a video review on these tiles that are actually designed for your garage floor. So in this video I'm going to talk about a few reasons as to why I decided to go with these tiles as opposed to alternatives, talk a little bit about the longevity of them, give you some ideas in terms of installation, and then just really give you my overall thoughts on them so far. So let's first talk a little bit about why I decided to actually go with these tiles instead of doing something like, say, epoxy. I looked into epoxy quotes, and roughly I was looking at about 2 times what I would have been putting into something like this in terms of material cost and installation. I was able to find a local contractor who actually was going to be doing some work all around our garage. There's basically a concrete sill that goes all the way along here. So I hired him to come in and we purchased all the wood material to do this. And I wanted to do the floor at the same time. So he actually helped me with the install in terms of sizing everything. I went to basically a company and had measurements done and said, okay, I'm going to figure out, exactly how much space I need to do these. The tiles themselves really are not difficult to install. You could use like a mallet or even just using your bare fist. There's basically pieces that go all along the edge on the inner portions that lock and interlock all the pieces. I decided to go with this multi-pattern here, so we kind of have the black-gray checkered pattern, and then I have these 2 large blue squares where our cars park. We have these parked at an angle because we have 1 large garage door, so when we go out we kind of go at angles. So because of that, it looks a little weird with the way I park the cars, but overall I'm still very happy with how everything turned out. This is obviously a very, very large garage. We essentially have 2 bays here. There's a bay in the middle, and then there was actually a bay at the end that I converted into an office. So right now we have the tile going all through this side, underneath the staircase here, and then it goes all the way over to this side, all the way to the edge there. So quite a large space. There's probably over 1,000 square feet we had to cover. And it probably took roughly about 5 hours or so to do all of the main center flooring, just snapping everything together. And then most of the work really came when doing the cuts on the edges. Now, in terms of the floor itself, in terms of durability and holding up, as you can see, we're obviously parking cars on these. They're very thick, very rigid. The only problem I've had was one instance we had a car come in and it must have just brought some rocks in, and you can see sometimes things will just get stuck in between here. You could usually pull these up if for any reason you were to have a spill or something like that. Like you can see, I just ended up pushing this little thing through, just like some remnants from outside. You could pop these up and take take whatever's beneath it out. We had one incident with one of the tiles where a rock got wedged and the car must have drove over that and it caused this to break. But of course I could always order another tile and simply just replace this. One thing I really like about this is that it's very easy to maintain. Sometimes I'll even walk out here in my socks. It's not uncomfortable to walk on. And the other thing I noticed was when we did all this work along the edges here and doing all this, this is a heated garage. We actually have a large heater up here. I usually keep it about 55 degrees, so that's pretty low, but I did notice after doing the tile and doing all the surrounding edges, that significantly reduced this last winter how much the heat actually needed to run in here. Otherwise, there's good insulation in here. Obviously, we have drywall and insulation in all the walls, and I did as much as I could with the garage door and everything, but overall, very, very happy overall with the tiles. Outside of that one little incident, which again is an easy fix because you could just simply get a replacement tile. I'm very, very happy with these. I love the way they look. A lot of people now, when they step into the garage, they're complimenting me and asking questions. And it really makes it almost feel like a bedroom now instead of a, garage. So I guess depending on your needs, I know the previous owner of this particular garage was a mechanic, and they owned a mechanic shop and auto shop, and they actually had lifts in here. Obviously you cannot do that with something like this, but in my case, I just wanted a place to store, my cars and have something that visibly looked nice. I was a little concerned over epoxy for a couple reasons. We have a snowblower that I would store in here during the winter months, and typically that would obviously dry wet and it would leave rust stains that were basically all over the concrete underneath, and it just looked terrible. And I didn't really have I'm sure I could have come up with a solution for that, but it's one of those things you come in after snow blowing, you're tired, you just want to get on with your day, and I don't want to have to worry about these extra little things like wondering, am I gonna, you know, destroy my garage floor? So this is really something that for me has been very easy to maintain. It was straightforward enough to install, and I was able to do quite a bit of it on my own. So again, highly recommend if you're gonna be looking for garage floor tiles. I do really like these, and I do recommend them.